So every single day we get messages asking for recommendations about firearms and protection and keeping your home safe. So in this video, I thought it'd be a good idea to just show you how I think about personal home defense and how my wife and I take this extremely seriously. And there's, like anything, there's a multitude of tools to do different duties. Now, first and foremost, I want to say that firearm safety is something that has to be trained and embedded into the person. It is something that you should spend time doing and keep yourself very comfortable with holding, operating, and maintaining a firearm. Now, this is something that you'll learn over time. And you just have to buy one and go out to the range, get some training from a friend that knows how to operate a firearm, watch a few YouTube videos, be very cautious, and go for it. Now, if you don't have any experience in this, I would highly recommend you taking a friend that is experienced out to the range after you get your firearm. Now, if you're looking for your first firearm, here are a few things that you want to think about. I recommend grabbing something in the range of a 9mm that is small enough to carry and conceal and keep on your person at all times. Now, there's a few different elements. This was my wife's first concealed carry pistol. Now, you can see this is a very small firearm. This is a .380, and while it is tiny, it could, in fact, help bring some force equalization to her in a bad situation. This was my first concealed carry firearm. And though it is a little bigger, it's still very concealable. Now, the difference between these is this is a 9mm, this is a .380, smaller bullet, less impact, larger bullet, more impact. 9mm is a really time-tested cartridge, and honestly, if you're not a super gun guru, it's gonna do just fine at presenting and keeping you safe in a crazy environment. Now, after you go through the concealed carry dilemma, which is something you're gonna carry on your person everywhere you go, and that's a decision that I and my wife made to do just because of how crazy this world has become. After you cross that barrier and you've trained with that, you wanna get really good at being able to draw and present and target and then execute a round on target in a fast situation. We train regularly to be able to do this, and we think of it as kind of like exercising our muscles to make sure that we're ready if we ever have to use this in the real world. And let me just say, I hope that's never the case. That is not a desire or a thing that you want to go through as a person. However, I refuse to be on the other side of that. The police are not going to get there in time. If your family is in a crisis and somebody is threatening your family, they're just not going to make it there in time. So, you know, everybody gets to make their own decision. This was ours. After you've gone through the conceal route, you might want to upgrade to a full-size pistol. Now, a full-size pistol is what I'm gonna use in my home if there are problems happening. And we've got a light and a red dot on this firearm to be able to give myself a bit of an advantage in the home situation. It's gonna give me the ability to turn my light on permanently, or I can just flick it on when I need it. And you can also do this with your other thumb. This just gives you the ability to see in the dark. I mean, quite frankly, it's gonna give you the ability to potentially blind the assailant. I'd rather do that and disorient them than have to put rounds in them. But this is kind of your next step as a personal defense tool that you can keep in your home and that you can train with. Now, from there, you're gonna go a few different places. And honestly, I recommend a 12-gauge shotgun. Now, you're probably not gonna grab a 12-gauge like this, but the 12-gauge round, hands down, one of the best protective rounds for keeping in your home. It gives you so much impact and so much power, it's just a no-brainer. If you've got multiple people trying to get in or threaten you, a 12-gauge is going to stop them very quickly. Now, in a normal situation, my wife would never be able to stop 3, 4, 5 full-grown men. With a 12-gauge, I guarantee she is stopping them, all of them, and none of them are getting through. Okay, so that's Mama Bear, and that's how Mama Bear protects. 12 gauges are fun for sporting, clay hunting. This is actually kind of a unique 12 gauge. I'm gonna say on camera that it's not mine personally, but a typical 12 gauge that gives you the pump action or a semi-automatic is gonna do great for home defense, and it's great to keep in your bedroom so you have it if something goes bump in the night. And finally, carbines, right? This is actually a pistol round carbine, and it's a pistol configuration with a suppressor on it. All of this is fully legal and licensed, and it's not mine for the displays, but it's something that I just want to give you an example for. This has a red dot on it. It actions like an AR-15, and it's going to give you the ability to put rounds on target very quickly. And if you're using it in a home or a confined space, this is going to make it a lot quieter. So let's talk about this from a philosophical perspective. Obviously, I don't ever want to have to use a firearm, but part of the becoming sovereign ideology is being able to protect your family. And that starts in a multitude of areas. Your food, your water, your shelter, right? Preparing in these elements also leaves you in a vulnerable state if things go bad. If you're the only person that has these things and you're trying to protect your family, how are you going to do it if civility is no longer a thing? So in my opinion, a force equalizer gives your family the ability to keep going and to protect yourself if you get into a situation where you have to. Like I said before, if you're counting on the police to show up and you're having to wait 10 or 15 minutes, the damage has probably already been done. So then you have to make a personal decision and face something that's really ugly as a human. Do I want to stand up and protect my family and keep them safe? Or do I want to let somebody else be responsible for that? And a sovereign individual always takes the former. Now, if this is the kind of stuff you're into, I would suggest checking out a local shooting competition, because my wife and I did one last week. We'll drop some clips into this video, and it was an absolute blast. What they did was they combined exercise and physical exertion with the ability to put rounds on target. And honestly, that was a lot of fun. All these exercises that we did were meant to exacerbate you and make you go to a point where you were physically, mentally exhausted. And then you got to see how you would actually perform in a desperate situation. So check those out. It's a fun thing to do. It keeps you in shape, and it helps you sharpen some of your skills to becoming a more sovereign family and individual. I'm Richard Rhett, founder of Sierra Madre, and this is the On Becoming Sovereign channel. Stay sovereign, friends.